welcome back to the Fifth Line 5R Florida Panthers pregame show presented by 5 Reasons Sports. I'm Alex Baumgartner. I'm joined by Shane from 5 Reasons Sports. The Florida Panthers unfortunately lost the first game in Game 1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 5-4. It was a back-and-forth game, but Braden Point scored the game-winning goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning with just under a minute 30 remaining in the third period. Tonight, the goaltender will be Chris Driedger, and the Panthers have to try and win this game. Otherwise, they go down 0-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they're heading to Yamali Arena in Tampa for the next two. Shane, obviously, you're going to the game tonight. You saw the last game. What was your overall thoughts from what you've seen, whether it's the referees, whether it's the penalty kill from the Panthers, whether it's the Lightning play? What was the biggest outlier for you in that game?
Well, obviously the disparity in what was allowed hit-wise. It's an abomination that McDonough's playing tonight. It's an absolute embarrassment on the league. He shouldn't be playing. I actually think his hit was more dangerous than Hoffman's. You know, Hoffman at least stayed high, but
Sam Bennett's.
Yeah. Bennett's hit was at least high. Yeah, he got a little bit more of a charge, but McDonough's was low and sent Duclair neck first into the boards. But I'm happy Driedger starting tonight. I think people make this argument with Bob, and even in the games where he makes some big saves, you always look up and there's 4 or 5 goals for the other team, no matter what. Chris is just more steady. I'm really curious, though, how much Florida tries to balance being physical and kind of letting Lomberg and Gudas do their thing. And, the edge of getting some revenge from last game and not getting in the box. And I don't want him to get away too much with that, because I thought for the most part, some of it was aggravating Tampa. I thought Lomberg was really aggravating Tampa the whole game. And that fourth line was playing great. And I just don't want him to, cue to say, okay, we just got to be smart. And then they get away with a little bit of the physicality and it backfires kind of the other way.
Honestly, I think the Ryan Lomberg thing's a huge story. Before the series started, I said if Lomberg can play his game and stay out of the box, which he did, he didn't take any instigating penalties. He got under the skin of those Lightning players. Mikhail Sergachev looks like he hated Ryan Lomberg, and Lomberg's the smallest guy on the ice, and he's getting under the skin of every single player on the other team. I don't know if they will lay back on the physicality. I think they're still going to bring it, but they're going to be a little weary. Obviously, I think the Sam Bennett hit, it was out there. Like, you knew it was going to be a penalty. He clearly charged at him, but also there was a big discrepancy between the calls in that game and the Department of Player Safety. If Sam Bennett is getting suspended, Ryan McDonagh should have at least, the bare minimum, have gotten a hearing. And once again, that didn't happen.
What amazes me is if you look at the Bennett, I didn't even realize it. And I rewatched it a little bit today. They were showing one of the replays on TV just before I left. And it was amazing to me how late the hit on Barkov was just before that. Colton, hitting Barkov. His hit was late. I mean, the puck was well away. And you know what I mean? For something not even to get 2 minutes and have it result in one of our best players suspended. I'm one of these where, I think there's just a kind of a mountain of evidence of, does the NHL, do they want to call this fairly? I guess we'll see tonight, but I have no intention. There's part of me that's with tonight. If it continues to go this way with the calls, let's forget about trying to win and let's just goon it up.
So for me, I think the keys to the game, obviously, you can't control what the referees do. What you have to do is stop taking dumb penalties. So when I say dumb penalties, it's ones that aren't questionable. So 3 of the 5 goals were on the power play. Tampa Bay, obviously, now they have Nikita Kucherov again. They have Steven Stamkos back again. We can talk about circumventing the cap all we want, but they're here. The $17 million plus an LTIR, there's no salary cap in the playoffs. These guys are here. They're playing. There's nothing that we can do about it.
Kuch faked his injury for the last month.
So we have to stay out of the box as best we can, because from what I saw on the penalty kill, we won't be able to stop Tampa. But I think the Panthers played a pretty decent game otherwise last one. Obviously there was the disallowed goal to start the game by Sam Bennett, and there was missed calls that eventually led to that Braden Point goal. I think the Lomberg trip should have been called because then that goal wouldn't have happened. But what's done is done in game one. We have to gear up for game two. That's tonight at the BB&T Center. Puck drop is at 8 p.m. We're going to expect about 10,000 in the crowd again. And I have to say, the atmosphere at game one, I was there. It was unbelievable. The crowd was so loud. Every hit, every shot, every save, every goal. It sounded about like 25,000 people were in that arena. I've never heard it that loud. So if you're going to the game tonight, you got to take in the atmosphere.
I have a quick hot take. We can kind of end on this. Want to know what your thought is on this. If Drieger plays well tonight, let's just look hypothetically 4-2 victory. He plays pretty solid. Do we see Bob again the series?
No. Well,
okay, I agree.
You don't see Bob game 3. You definitely don't see Bob game 3. Now, if game 3 Drieger absolutely has a blunder, gives up 4 or 5 like really bad goals, then you'll see Bob again. I think goaltenders, at least on the Panthers, are going to have a really short leash in this series because the Panthers do have the luxury of having multiple good goalies that can win you a playoff game. Now, I'll tell you, I do not expect to see 20-year-old Spencer Knight in the net. Spencer Knight is 3 months younger than me. To put him in a playoff series against the defending Stanley Cup champions, I don't see that happening. But I wouldn't be surprised if Drieger plays the rest of the series, and I wouldn't be surprised if Drieger has a bad game, Bob's back in for game 3.
Well, if Drieger has a bad game tonight, who our goalie is will be the least of our issues at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, thanks, Shane, for joining us. I know you're heading over to the game right now. We can wrap this pre-show up pretty quickly. There's not more to say other than the Panthers got to stay out of the box. Other than that, they can keep playing physical, but you just can't take stupid penalties, and you just can't give Tampa space because when Tampa sets up, it's over. Even 5-on-5, when they get in the zone, they start circling. They start setting up almost like a power play when it's 5-on-5. They have enough weapons offensively to do that. But I think the Panthers, they brought it last game. Every NHL fan that I've talked to said that was the best game they've seen all season. I think this will be the best series of the first round. It might be one of the best series of the playoffs. So for hockey fans in Florida, this is great. Let's just hope the Panthers can grab a win tonight.
All right, thank you. Walking in right now.
Yeah, walking into the BB&T Center right now?
Walking in across the street, getting a few drinks at Yard House.
Sawgrass Mills. All right, well, everyone, make sure you subscribe to the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at 5line5R. I will be live tweeting the game as always, and we'll have a couple articles out throughout the series. I had 5 takeaways for the last game. Expect another 5 takeaways a little bit later tonight, but there will be one up. And make sure you don't forget to come to In the Box with Alex. Tomorrow, we'll be recapping Game 2. Instead of doing a post-game show, we'll be recapping Game 2 on In the Box with Alex tomorrow around 5 p.m. And make sure you head over to the 5 Reasons Sports store to buy the Cardiac Cat shirt. You're going to need it for this series. Thanks for watching, and let's go Cats.